going to go through this test here, the May 1st test. All right, so here we go. So we have -3x cubed times -4y squared. So the main thing you have to remember here is numbers times numbers, letters times letters, right? And since there's nothing, the exponent isn't attached to the number, we just times -3 times -4, which is going to equal 12. And then our x and y's are different here, so it's going to end up as such. Okay. Now if we go over here, same idea, where we're going to have our numbers with numbers here. Oh, where's my pen? There we go. So we have our numbers by numbers here. So we're going to go 2 times 4, which is going to be 8. 3 times 8, which is going to be 24. X3 times x2. So we're going to add those. Since it's multiplication, we're going to end up with x to the 5. Y5 and y and z are different, so they're just going to carry over. Z2. And this one can reduce here to 1 over 3 x to the 5, y to the 5, z to the 2. You have to remember, when you multiply, you add. Here we're going power to a power, so a power to the power, you multiply the exponents together. And if you remember here, that's 1, and there's a 1 there. So you're going to end up with -2 to the power of 3, y to the power of 3, and x to the power of 9. Now, -2 to the power of 3 is the same as saying -2 times -2 times -2, right? So -2 times -2 is +4 times -2, which is -8 y3 x 9. Right. Now here we have a division. If you remember, our division is minusing, but here we have our numbers, so we can just divide that, which is going to equal 3. And we're going to get x3 over x1. So that's 3 minus 1. That's going to be x squared. And we have a 1 here, so it's going to be 1 minus 4, which is going to be y to the -3, which we can make that positive by taking it to the denominator, as such. So we have x3 minus 1 and y1 minus 4. That's how we're going there. Now we switch from a variable as the base of the exponent to a number. So you treat them exactly the same. So right here we have a multiplication, so we're going to keep our base. Bases stay the same, and then we're going to add the exponents. And here we have a power to the power, so we're going to multiply the exponents together. Keep the base, multiply the exponents, to which we will get 2, and here we have division now. So we're going to go 8 minus 10, which is going to equal -2. And if we keep a exponent positive, we move to the bottom, so it's going to be 2 squared, which is going to equal 1 over 4. Now here we just have a straight multiplication. So we just have to make sure we add going across here. So we have x1 to x2, so we're going to add that. So it's going to be x3. Y, we have a 3 and a 5 here, so it's going to be 8. And z, we have a 5 and a -3, so it's going to be 5 plus -3, which is an equal 2. Now if we remember here, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So all this is to the power of 0. So all this hypothetically, we're going to multiply. If we run this through, it's going to be 16. Now 0 times 1, power to the power is going to be 0. X to the power of 3 times 0 is 0. Y is going to be 4 times 0, which is 0. And Z, which is going to be 7 times 0, is going to be 0. And if you remember, anything to the power of 0 is going to equal 1, so it's going to be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. Your simple answer is 1. Now here, these had brackets on it in your test. So the first thing we're going to do, put brackets there, is just going to take care of this side first, and it's a division. So x to the 2, that's going to be 2 minus 5, which is going to be x to the negative 3. 3 minus 1 is going to be y squared. Still brackets around this. And this side we have 2 divided by 1, which is going to equal 2. We have 8 divided by 4 here, so it's going to be 8 minus 4, which is going to be 4. Now I'm leaving this negative here because we just have a multiplication, so we'll just run it through to see what happens. Now we're doing multiplication, so we're going to add. So 2 times 1, so 1 out here, is going to be 2. Negative 3 plus 4 is going to be x to the 1. And 2, there's no y over here, so it's going to be y squared. Now, last one here. We're going to do all them inside math first before we take care of this. We're going to do our brackets first. Bed mass, B for brackets. So multiplication, so we're going to multiply 4 times 5, which will equal 20. And then x3, x4 is going to be x to the 7. Then we still have the 2x10 over here. Bracket, bracket, 3. Let's continue with our bracket. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. And x, we have 7 minus 10, which is going to equal x to the negative 3. Bracket, bracket. Now, power to the power is going to multiply in. Remember, there's a little 1 here. So we have 10 to the power of 3. X to the negative 9. That's a negative right here. Then we can simplify it some more. 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. And then to make this positive, we're going to take it to the bottom. Away you go. So let's look here. This might get a little messy with this, but we shall see. So we have brackets here. We have to, all we're doing is collecting like terms. Not solving anything. There's no equal sign in this. So we're just going to expand and then collect like terms. And here we're going to rainbow in as we go. So 3 times 2x squared is going to be 6x squared. 3 times x plus 3x. Remember, numbers times numbers. 3 times negative 2 minus 6. Then we have an x out in front here. So x times 3x is going to be plus 3x squared. Remember, we're adding the exponents here. And x times negative 3 is going to be negative 3x. Now if we collect like terms here, let's highlight my x squares. Make sure you get the plus or minus there. We're going to highlight our x's. And then we're going to highlight our numbers. So that leaves me with 6 plus 3 is going to be 9x squared. And we're not adding the exponents, because we're just adding the two things together. Positive 3 minus 3 is going to be 0. So we don't have to include it, and then minus 6. There we go. So here we're going to expand again, so we're going to rainbow in. So we have negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3. Positive 6x squared. 2x squared times 2 is going to be 4x squared. And then positive 2 times negative x is going to be minus 2. So we times it by the 1 there. Then x2 plus x1 is going to be x3. And let's do some highlighting. Let's highlight our, I always like to start with the highest exponent. So we're going to go here first, then here with our squares, and then here. Pen, and here we go. So I'm going to have negative 2x cubed. I like to start with the highest one and work my way down. Plus 10x squared minus 2x. Now, solve for the unknown variable, right? Also known as finding the root. So we have this fraction here. So let's get rid of it by canceling it out. So we have a divide by 5, so we're going to multiply this side by 5. And if I do this, we have a 5 on top and a 5 on bottom, so they're going to cancel out. And then I have, whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other. So that's going to leave us with 4 bracket x minus 10 equals 40. Then let's rainbow in. So we have 4x minus 40 equals 40. Now I have to isolate this x, so we're going to move this over. So the way I think about it, if you think about ops operations, it's a minus on this side, it's going to become a plus. Right? So I have 4x equals 40 plus 40. Now if you want to think about eliminating it, we make 0 pairs here by adding 40 to this side. Whatever we do to that side, we have to do to the other. So I'm going to get 4x equals 80. Then I have to divide this side by 4 to get rid of that multiply. They're going to cancel out, get a 1, so I have x equals 20. Now here, it looks a little different, but you can just imagine it looks like this. So we're going to do the same thing, just twice. So we're going to multiply this side by 3. And these are going to cancel out. If I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. I'm going to multiply this whole thing, not just part of it, by 5. And those will cancel out, and I'll be left with this. So that leaves me with this 5 bracket 2 bracket 3x minus 2 equals 3 bracket negative 4 bracket negative 2x plus 2. And then I'm going to rainbow this in first. So I'm going to get 10 bracket 3x minus 2 equals negative 12 bracket negative 2x plus 2. Then I'm going to keep expanding. Put this in here and there. So I'm going to get 30x minus 20 equals negative times the negative is going to be a positive. So I'm going to get 24x, 24x minus 24. Now I like to leave the largest x on its side, so I'm going to leave this 30x over here. I'm going to bring this one over. So it's going to be minus 24x equals, and the minus 24 is over here already, and this is coming over this way, so it's going to be plus 20. Okay. So you can think about it as in minus 24x on this side. What I do to the other one side, I have to do the other side, and so on. Plus 20, plus 20. That's going to leave me with 6x equals negative 4. Divide by 6. I get x equals negative 4 over 6. Alright, so try to zoom out here. Zoom out just a touch. So here we go. So we have 4 steps here, right? There's my draw. Step 1 is ID variables. Oops. Step 2 is to create equation. Step 3, solve equation. Step 4 is including sentence. So let's take a look here. So we need to find the length of the sides of an isosceles triangle. So if we know it's isosceles, we know that despite my drawing, these two sides are going to be equal. Where the non-base sides, so these two sides, are 4 less than double the length. So let's make those S for sides, right? So S equals sides, non-base. And we'll label B as our base. Our base side. So we know, so we've already named the variables. Now let's go into creating our equation. The non-base sides are 4 less than double. So let's make S equal 4 less than double. So let's double it first. Let's double the base. And we'll minus off 4. So it's 4 less than double. Right? And we know the perimeter is 92. So if we remember back the perimeter of a triangle for this one, if we label this side, side, base, is going to equal S plus B. So we know the perimeter for this one, since we know that S here is equal to this, is going to be 2B. Let's type this. Is going to be 2B minus 4 plus, so that's one side, and we're going to substitute in again, 2B minus 4 plus the base. So 2B minus 4 is this S, 2B minus 4 is this S, and the B is just there. So then if we go down, we have P equal to, we're going to collect like terms here. So we're going to collect this with this with this. Let me get that plus. And then we'll collect here and here together. So that's going to give us 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5B minus 8. Let's go back here since we know this here is 92. So our next line, we're going to move over the 8. So it's going to become a positive, so it's going to be plus 8 equals 5B. And if we think about that here, we're going to add 8 to this side. So we add 8 to this side, which moves us down there. And that's going to get us to, where's my cursor? To 100 equals 5B. And we're going to have to divide that here by 5 here, by 5. So we're going to get 20 equals B. So now we know our base here is 20. So we created our equation right here. This is our step 2. Step 2. This here was step 1. Step 1. And we solved it here. This would be step 3. But we're not quite done it because we need to solve how big those sides are. So we know this is 20, and we know a side equals 2b minus 4. So this equals 2 times 20 minus 4, which is going to equal 40 minus 4, which equals 36. S equals 36. We know this side's 36, this side's 36. Then we write a nice concluding statement. But since I won't fit it in there, I'll say step 4 goes in here. Concluding statement. All that you would write there is the sides of the triangle, the isosceles triangle, are 36, 36, and 20. And a nice diagram. So here we go. We have, let's change this first to Anya. So Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Anya play a game of 3-on-3. At the end of the tournament, Curry has scored 8 more points than Anya, while Durant has twice as many points as Curry. So let's go through and we'll go C equals Curry. Where's my... Let's go back in time and erase that. Let's type it in here. So C equals Curry. D equals Durant. And A equals Anya. So we know our formula here is going to be, I'm going to reduce my font here a little bit. We know our formula. Let's start with Anya is going to equal A. Curry, as it reads above, scores 8 more points than Anya. So we're going to go A plus 8. And Durant, he scores twice as many as Curry. So I could go 2 times A plus 8. And I know the total is 156. So if we go total equals Anya plus Curry plus Durant, then we can fill in what they're all equal to. This is 156 equals Anya's A plus Curry is A plus 8 plus Durant is 2 times A plus 8. Then let's keep going from there. We have 156. We have to rainbow this in. So it's got my pen. So we're going to rainbow this in here before we can start collecting like terms. So this is going to equal A plus 8 plus 2A plus 16. And then we're going to collect like terms. So if we take a look here, we're going to collect all our A's together. And we'll collect our numbers together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 A's plus, what's that, 24? Now we have to isolate the A, the 4A together. So we're going to get 156 minus 24 equals 4A. Then, let's just show that how it happens. So we have minus 24 on this side. So what we do to one side, we have to do the other. So that's going to equal, where's my pencil here? So I don't have my calculator, so let's do a little math. So it's going to equal 32. 132 equals 4A. Then we'll have to divide both sides by A. So we're going to get 33 equals A. So divide both by 4, both by 4, away we go. So A, we know that A equals 32 now. Okay, let me type here. So A equals 33. Now we know that Curry equals, equals A plus 8. So Curry is going to equal Anya's score, which is 8 plus 8. So Curry scored 41. And lastly, Durant equals 2 times A plus 8. So Durant equals 2 times 33 plus 8. Durant equals 2 times 41. So Durant scored 82 points. And we could double check that by adding 33 plus 41 plus 82. And that is the end, because this one here you had to create your own question, so I couldn't possibly take that up. And then we need a concluding sentence here saying, in the game, Anya scored 33 points, Curry scored 41, and Durant scored 82. Okay, so there's your review of the test. Come see me if you have any questions.